This is my mom. She died in 2010, but in her 88 years of life, she made the best deviled eggs I've ever tasted. And today, I'm going to share her simple recipe with you and a couple extras. So this is my mom's deviled egg recipe. I told you it was simple. I wasn't lying. There are 4 ingredients: eggs, vinegar, mustard, and mayonnaise. The things you add later to give it other flavors and extra little zing, that's different. But the basic recipe, 4 ingredients. So let's get started. So we're going to start first with the eggs. Now these eggs have been boiled. They boiled for 12 minutes. And they come out of the water and go immediately into an ice bath to cool them down. And then you peel them, and that's what we have here, the peeled hard-boiled egg. I'm going to go through the upper layers of the egg just to separate the 2 halves. Now, full disclosure, my wife is the one who usually makes these. But I decided to take it on today, and she's been behind the scenes helping get everything ready. So there we go. Got to make sure we have gone all the way through so it separates easily here. And then we should end up with 2 halves and a yolk that just falls out. We're going to do that for the rest of the eggs, and we'll start mixing the deviled egg filling. So our egg yolks are ready. These are from 6 eggs, as you can see, which is going to give us a dozen deviled eggs. This bowl actually could be a little large, but it's easier for you to see in here. And all we're going to do, we're going to take a fork. We're going to begin mashing these. Now this is not a silky, creamy filling type of deviled eggs. That's not what my mom made. We're going to get it down until it's pulverized like this. Then we're going to add our next ingredients. Our first ingredient that we're adding to the egg yolks is a teaspoon of mustard. Now, a lot of times in recipes, I will say things like, oh, about this or about that. But honestly, in this one, the measurement does matter. Next is a teaspoon of plain white vinegar. Finally, we have a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, just regular mayonnaise. And we're just going to mix this together with our fork. So why a fork? Because that's what my mom used. And if you feel it's a little too chunky, just keep mashing it. We're not adding any salt, any pepper, anything to this base mixture. Any flavorings come when you doctor it up for your special eggs. There we go, our deviled egg mixture. We're going to put it in the refrigerator just to cool down a little bit while we do a couple other things. But I'm going to take a taste first. That's Mom's deviled egg mixture. Really good. Now, while our egg mixture is chilling just a little bit in the refrigerator, I'm going to get this bacon ready because one of the deviled eggs we're going to be doing is a bacon deviled egg. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set 2 pieces aside. We're going to need those at the end for a little bit of garnish. And the rest of these bacon pieces, I need to chop these up. For that, I'm going to use my cleaver because I want to get them nice and small. Almost like crushed bacon bits. You could do this different ways. You could actually put these in a Ziploc bag and, roll a rolling pin over them, or use the bottom of a saucepan to crush them. I just like using my cleaver. Get these nice and chopped, and that should be good. So we are back to our chilled deviled egg mixture now. What we need to do is sort of divide this into 3 parts. I'm just going to get this pushed down a little bit into the center here, and I'm just going to sort of eyeball this into 3 rough parts. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just sort of dividing this here. So there we have roughly 3 sections of deviled egg mixture. Now what we're going to do is transfer one of these portions into a Ziploc bag. Let me scoop this up here. So here we have a Ziploc bag, resealable bag. I don't even think this is Ziploc, it's one of these things. We're gonna take this and we're gonna push it down into the corner here. Make sure we get all of the egg mixture from that portion. So as you can see, we have this bag with our deviled egg mixture down into the corner. And if you haven't guessed what we're gonna do here, this is gonna become like a piping bag like you would use for decorating a cake. We're just gonna snip this corner off in a minute and use this to fill the deviled eggs. First, we gotta fill the other two bags. So we're gonna set this aside because this is gonna be for our regular deviled eggs, and we're gonna now make our bacon deviled eggs. So what we're gonna do to make our bacon deviled eggs is we're just gonna take the bowl of bacon bits that we made and we're going to add one of these portions of the egg mixture. Maybe a little bit more than that because that's a that's a lot of bacon. That's a lot of bacon. Isn't that?
You could add, yeah, you could add a little bit more.
Okay, command decision here. We have a lot of bacon. Let me show you this. We have a lot of bacon and less egg mixture. So we may remove some of the bacon. I probably made a little too much bacon. I know that's heresy. There's no such thing as too much bacon. But for this instance, we're going to have to remove some of this bacon. So I'm going to scoop out a little bit of this bacon that I overdid it on. And we can always add more if we find took out too much. So I'm just going to mix, try and incorporate as much of this bacon into the egg mixture as I can. Or the egg mixture into the bacon, which might be more accurate. But that's mixing nicely, and that's going to be a tasty egg. Just going to use our little spatula to scrape off some of the bacon mixture, which is trying to hang on. And now we're going to put the bacon mixture into a Ziploc bag. And here's our bag with the bacon mixture. The third deviled egg we're going to be making today is a Sriracha deviled egg. We're going to be adding a little bit to the egg mixture, and we're going to be garnishing the egg with a little dollop of Sriracha at the end. So we're not going to put too much. A couple squirts, that's about all it's going to need. Just a couple squirts. If you like it more spicy than that, you can add a lot more. I'm just doing it for a little bit of flavor. It's hard to see, but you can actually tell just turned a little bit orange in there, which is all we want. So this is our Sriracha deviled egg mixture. And now it is time to fill the eggs. So first thing we have to do now is we've got our regular egg mixture here, is we're just going to snip. We're going to take an egg and we're going to fill it. Not as good as my mom would do, but it tastes the same. Now my wife has just given me a tip. She said, stick the bag all the way down in the egg, squeeze and pull it up. So let's try that. That works pretty good. I wonder if my mom is critiquing me from above right now. We have a little of the regular mixture left over, so if we're short on any of the others, we can kind of add to it. Now we're going to move on to the bacon deviled eggs. And same thing, we have to cut the end of the bag, and we're going to cut it a little bit bigger since there's bacon chunks in there. Bacony goodness. So for our bacon deviled eggs, we have to add our last little bit of garnish. We've got a couple pieces of bacon here that I saved from the beginning. I'm going to break these in half. It's just a rough thing we're doing here. And we're just going to, if they're too big, you can even break them further. We're going to stick those pieces of bacon in the deviled eggs, just like little shark fins. Just like that. And the good thing about this is leftover piece of bacon. Finally, we're down to our Sriracha deviled eggs. Squeeze it all down there to the end so we can get one more egg out of this. Can do it, Sriracha. That one we're going to have to add a little bit of the extra egg mixture to. But that's okay because we're going to add the Sriracha on top too. Just to fill it out. Now we're just going to add our little dollop of Sriracha on top. So we have our plate of deviled eggs here, our regular deviled eggs, our Sriracha deviled eggs, and our bacon deviled eggs. And right now I'm just going to take a little pinch of paprika for the regular ones, put it on top for a little bit of color. Now I get to taste Mom's deviled eggs. First I'm going to go for the original. These were hers. She didn't doctor up the eggs very much. The others are sort of the additions my wife and I came up with, the bacon and the Sriracha. This is the original Mom deviled egg. So simple, so good. Are we supposed to take any of these somewhere tonight, or can I eat them all?
You can eat them all.
I can eat them all. I'm not going to eat them all. There'll be 6 whole eggs, 12 deviled eggs. Yeah, I'm not going to eat them all. All right, I'm going to go for the Sriracha next. Sriracha deviled egg. Wow, that's really good. You get a nice little hit of that Sriracha flavor. It's not too hot. You could definitely make it spicier if you want to, but it's got just that perfect amount of heat and flavor. Finally, the little bacon deviled eggs, which look like they have a shark fin of bacon in them. Ready? Oh, wow. These are good. I'd make these again. Those bacon ones would be a good thing you could have at breakfast or brunch or something like that. They're tasty. I'm going to have one more original in honor of Mom. Here we go. It's the exact flavor I remember from when I was a kid. Now that base recipe for the deviled egg filling, you can do so many things to that, and even at the end of the process, you can garnish this with anything you want. You could put some roasted red peppers on top, olives, anything. That base is what really makes these deviled eggs. You can change it, you can add to it. That base itself is what you build everything else upon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out some of my other videos, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you do, click that bell. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.